All right, and here we are. Welcome to another episode of the Braver, Newer Worlder podcast. Today is Tuesday, April 1st, in the year of the apocalypse, still 2026. We haven't flashed forward in time or backwards in time.
It's flashing
Yeah,
pretty
at this
quickly.
point, I don't know which one I would take. So here we are. AI, Chronic, welcome. How are you guys?
Good evening.
And as I just would like to say, happy to all of the participants and the partakers out there. Happy belated 420 to y'all. Hope you're all out there enjoying it. Had a great holiday. I know I did, and I'm going to continue it right now. But
I wished everyone at my my schooling a happy 420 yesterday to all who celebrate. You know, it was I even wore one of my Good Day Farm shirts. You know, plants are greater than pills in
Yep.
celebration. Do love to support, all those who partake.
So you guys know that I don't, right? But several years ago, I was doing these power walks, and I had the best power walk one afternoon. I got home, I was feeling so good, and I looked at the clock and I looked at the calendar. It was 4:20 p.m. on 4:20. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
What city were
That's
you
a
in at
sign.
the time?
I was in Kentucky at the time.
Was it in the air at the time?
No, just a coincidence.
It was just a coincidence, and you were feeling that good without drugs on that day, and that's like, well, that's justification that you don't need them.
Some
Yep,
sort of osmosis,
exactly.
maybe.
I'm not a drug
Maybe.
pusher. I'm a drug user. Like, you
Yeah.
don't do drugs. That's just more for me.
That's right. I don't need you fucking shortening the supply.
Yeah, I certainly don't need you bogey in the fucking J. Like,
Nope.
yeah, so yeah,
None
I
of
don't
that.
really care if anybody else does it.
Nope.
Sometimes
As long as
I
you just
do.
let
I
me
will
do it.
admit, I feel like a little bad. Like people are like, oh, I don't smoke weed. Like I think I said it before. I was like, really, man? Have you at least given it a fair shot? Because I see you boozing it up, and I know that shit's the fucking devil. So
That ain't good.
have you
That
at
ain't
least
good
given
for
weed
ya.
a fair shot?
I didn't
like
dislike it. I was just prone to addiction, and it was another thing that I did not want to get addicted to. So,
and some people can't function. Me and Chronic could we could blaze all day and do the fucking finest craftsmanship you will ever see in your life. And there are people that we work with that are like, no, you are not allowed to touch that shit until we fucking stop the clock because you turn into a fucking idiot. Like, and I can't trust you for anything.
Idiot, yeah. Just a moron.
I get zoned in and comfortable, man. It takes away the aches and pains of 53 years of micro injuries, a torn labrum, bone spurs. All the aches and pains is like just dissipates. It's all less. So I'm an advocate. I'm so sketchy about some of the shit I'm seeing now because I'm starting to see these like headlines of, oh, now that we're studying weed, there's all these adverse side effects. And I'm like, yeah, well, these fucking studies brought to you by the alcohol industry. Like, it's like, this is like, I know so many hardcore potheads. Nobody has any of these issues. I don't know one person that has any of this shit. Like in a representative study of just my friends.
Aren't most of the studies showing, though, that the harmful effects are when you start really young? I think.
That is what I'm getting, is if you start blazing before your body is developed, then that is a valid fucking thing to be interested in.
For any drug, for any substance.
For any drug. That is absolutely valid.
For
weightlifting, Adderall,
anything.
Ritalin.
Those ages can vary a little bit, I'm sure, based on what we call mature. And yes, I do believe that there are studies that say that kids who start pot very young can have some issues. If you're a heavy user from like 14 of the rest of your life, goddamn, if you're a heavy user of anything from 14 on the rest of your life, like I don't, and weed's the kindest drug you can get, man.
I wouldn't say I was a heavy user. I wasn't a heavy user since 14, but I definitely started at 14 and ramped right up into my 18. It was, it's like a nice, probably a linear. I don't think it was exponential. It was kind of a linear scale up to the 18.
I didn't start until my mid 30s. Really, I had that conversation with myself because at the time I was really dealing with some aches and pains from construction. I was considering it. I was married. I had a kid. I was drinking a lot to try to ease some fucking aches and pains from the day, which wasn't really helping at all. But, I'm like, God damn it, it's still fucking really illegal in North Carolina. And the last thing I need to do and the last thing I need to be is a 35-year-old dad with a fucking possession charge. Like that'd be some serious bullshit.
That's real. That's a real consideration.
That's some real fucking bullshit right there. Like straight up.
Well,
Like, why?
I have a friend, and I won't tell you what state or whatever, but he was married with 3 kids, and he and a buddy grew 30 marijuana plants in their basement and got busted.
Yeah,
That'll
it's kind
get
of
you.
hard to
That's
justify personal use when you do it. Got 30 of them, man.
yeah, that's
Even when they're
intent to
legal, you only get
distribute.
like 12 per person. That's the thing. Yeah.
And his partner turned him in.
Uh,
Well, I could have a whole lot to say about that.
shitty partners, man.
That's. I mean, it was like Chronic. You know how it is, how it was. Like, yeah, I don't want to talk to nobody. It might be sketchy. I
No,
want to be fucking low key, no drama, and just do my thing.
if there's any
And
type of fucking, yeah, if there's any type of drama or sketchiness about you, I ain't dealing with you. I'm not having the chance that
and
you
any
fucking come over. Yeah, go ahead.
no,
I was just say I
finish
was.
up. I want to hear what
Yeah,
you
I was
got.
gonna say when I was distributing, the fund to the people around the around the neighborhood. I only wanted
Your
to hang out
lemonade
with the
stand.
fucking cool. I only want to hang out with the cool kids. If there's any fucking suspect shit about you, any bullshit, any drama, any thought that you might get pulled over after you fucking left my house and talk some stupid shit, no, you're fucking done. I don't have time for that.
If you're also asking for oxys and Adderall, get the fuck out of my house. Like you're at the wrong place, my dude.
Exactly. Maybe some mushrooms or acid, sure, but
Hey,
Molly, maybe
psychedelics are
nothing.
their own category. To each their own. Do at your own
That's
risk.
right. That's right. Yeah. Not advocating for them, but they're pretty fun.
I will absolutely advocate for them. They're life changers. Yeah, they're absolute game changers. And I know friends that have self-diagnosed and well, not I don't know, but no, didn't self-diagnosed, self-medicated with ketamine. Never tried it, but man, had massively good results for depression, and then got off of it.
Really
I was like,
interesting.
really, they did a lot of their own, I won't say research because I despise that word if you're not a fucking scientist. They did their own Googling and looking into things to the point where they were comfortable with it. They got their proper dosage. They regulated, certain, amounts, and then got themselves off of it, and it helped.
So I saw a term, I do
Interesting.
a crossword puzzle each day, and there was a very long answer, 3 words. The clue was something like proof that how art was born or something, and you guys may know this term, stoned ape theory. Have you heard that
Yeah.
term before?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I have no point. I was just sharing that with you.
Yeah, the idea that apes, the way we might have come to arisen to our awareness and our
Yeah.
self-consciousness was apes coming down out of the trees, spreading out in the savannah, coming across psychoactive mushrooms out on the savannah as a food source, trying them and having psychedelic experiences, which expanded the consciousness and therefore led to humans with our expanded consciousness and self-awareness.
That's right.
Would some of these mushrooms have been sprouting from animal dung on the prairie?
Yep.
As they do cow manure in the. Is that a part of the theory?
That's part of the theory. Yep. That, I mean, I haven't read. I think it's Terence McKenna is the scientist or the researcher who's developed who's his theory is Terence McKenna, who's the Stoned Ape, if I'm correct. And I have not read his work. I just heard a lot about it, and it seems to me it could be plausible. I don't know anything about it. Haven't done any of my Googling, but I mean, it makes sense, and it would make sense that, yeah, apes, just animals foraging for stuff to eat. They're used to finding fucking mushrooms and stuff, and they're trying things, whatever, flipping over cow dung, whatever. They find some stuff out on the savannah, pop it in, and we have, what is it nowadays? Lemurs, as in there's videos or scientific evidence like lemurs eating, in Madagascar, lemurs eating or chewing like on centipedes that produce a toxin, and it produces within them psychedelic effect. It's a living thing.
Same with koala bears. They eat eucalyptus, right? Which is slightly toxic for them. So those little bastards are tripping nuts all day.
Right?
Cats will do anything for some catnip,
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
And
I don't think.
mean, you see the meme. You even see the meme online, right? It's like, this is how, like you just said, right, Chronic? It's like, this is how we found shit out. We tried it all, and then everyone made the little notes. Okay, these mushrooms go great with pasta. These ones killed Bob immediately. These ones make you see God. Yeah. So you just fucking note this shit. Like, people weren't that goddamn dumb.
No, not at all. We just
They
didn't
were
know as
pretty
much as we
good.
know now.
They were pretty solid for their time, just like we are.
Yeah. Yeah. And you go fast forward 500 years, people will look at us and be like, they're kind of stupid, but we're really still the same people. We just didn't know as much as the people in the 500 years in the future. Maybe.
And it's the same with I
Assuming
think
they
it was
make it
part
that
of like
long.
that, like the whole like agriculture. Like, once we discovered fermentation and we realized what created alcohol, that's when we started farming shit. We were like, oh, we need to figure out what makes more of that.
Right? Yeah.
So if that doesn't make perfect sense for everything we were talking about before we came on, I don't know what does. Like, right? Like, we wrapped our addiction from day one. Like, oh, we need more of whatever the fuck happened right there. Like, so we will cut down all the goddamn trees. We will plant all the seeds, and we will figure out how to get our fucking asses drunk.
Yep.
And we've spent about 3,000 or 4,000 years perfecting that craft.
At least, yeah. At least.
Yeah, at least.
Yep. Easily.
So
Maybe
AI,
not that long. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Cronny. I was wrap it up, and then I'm going to hand it over to AI, who has a
No,
big,
let's hand it over to AI.
AI, he's got a big segment prepared for us this evening. I am curious about this.
It's not big, but it's fairly topical. I mean, before I get started, I was curious.
It ain't big, but it's short and skinny.
That's what. Yeah, never. I know the answer, but I have to start by asking, you guys read the Bible?
I've heard it several times.
Well, there's this passage I got memorized. Ezekiel 25:17. If I may. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And the president will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to disagree with him. And you will know his name is Lord Fascist Creamsicle when he lays his vengeance upon thee. Now, guys, I've been saying that shit for years. I never really gave much thought to what it meant, just figured it was some cold-blooded shit to say to a maggot before I threw scientific facts up his ass. But this past week or so, guys, I saw some shit that made me think. I'm thinking now maybe it means that Pete Hegsshits is the righteous man, and I'm the shepherd, right? I'm guiding his ass through the valley of darkness. I'd like to think that, but that shit ain't the truth. The truth is, Hegsshits is the weak, and Lord Fascist Creamsicle is the tyranny of evil men. But I'm trying, guys. I am trying real hard these days to be the shepherd. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Hallelujah. Amen.
I'm sure you guys saw the clip or saw in the news Hegsshits.
I heard about this one. I didn't need to really go and watch it. He just took so from what I understand, he just basically quoted the Samuel L. Jackson quote, which was not actually the actual quote from the Bible.
You're close. He quoted from, I'm not going to get it exactly right, but he quoted from some, like, I'm going to say the word platoon. Just bear with me. It may not be a platoon, but some platoon leader who is deployed in Iran, excuse me. And this is a prayer he sent out to all of his, like, pilots or whatever before their mission. And that platoon leader, I may be using the wrong term, but that platoon leader's prayer quoted from Ezekiel. They called it something different than Ezekiel 25:17, but that's what quoted. So he was quoting them, and they were the ones that had quoted.
So Whiskey Leaks was quoting the admiral, general, whoever, who had already quoted the thing incorrectly.
This was after Whiskey Leaks had been basically preaching. He was basically preaching, quoting
Well,
Jesus, quoting scripture,
mean,
and he goes straight from that
Yikes.
into the Pulp Fiction. I'm like, yeah,
he's a kind of a drama queen bitch, if you haven't noticed. I mean, the motherfucker's got to put a beauty salon in his fucking office because he basically came. Well, he didn't basically shit. He came from being a Fox News host to a job that he's not even qualified for, and then they changed the title so he can be the Secretary of War. You know, so what the fuck? We are getting so close to rock bottom here, kids. I can feel it. Like we're so close.
yeah.
It's like when you're swimming out in the pond and you're dipping your toe down to the bottom, kind of see where you're at. Like we're past the sand, we're past the muck and the seaweeds. We're getting to solid rock. Maybe.
Well, I mean, the bullshit's getting exposed. The
Mhm.
2008, 2009 crisis, exposed a good bit of it. They just fucking gave the money back to the banks. They didn't do shit with it, but pay themselves for thinking they're goddamn awesome. Like, right? And
Well,
then
but the
COVID
grifts have
exposed.
gotten huge now, man. I mean, it's
Yeah,
out of
COVID
control.
exposed more of it. Like,
Yeah.
right? The system isn't fucking gonna work, and everyone's all this shit. You can say whatever you want, and believe me, I do about fucking Orange Julius Caesar. He's a puppet, whatever. They're just basically propping him up right now, but it's pretty obvious that it's a desperate attempt to cling to the things that they know. Like, and the only thing they have is, so now it's like playing musical chairs on the playground, right? You just don't want to be the one without a chair.
Yeah.
But now
No
that
matter
he's
where the
picking a
chair
fight
is.
with the Pope, he's losing most of his true Christians now.
Yeah, I told my girlfriend, Dawn, I'm like, this fucking dipshit, referring to Genghis Khan, the orange blob, whatever you want to call him, the Fanta Fuhrer, he's fucked things up so bad that he's got the entire atheist community going, the fucking Pope is making a lot of sense right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy, this silly old man in the white pointed hat.
That guy who represents a fucking cadre of child abusers is making so much more sense than the other guy who represents a cadre of child abusers.
Although one represents them, the other one is just part of. Or is that?
I don't want to break those two. I don't want to make that fine of a distinction. They're all pieces of shit. But I'm like, God damn, like the Pope? Like, I guess this is what the Pope was actually called to do when they actually created the position, right? Create calm in the people. Like, just, make it all right. If you're going to have one job as a Pope, right? If you're going to be that leader, isn't it to make the people feel like we got this? At least.
Well, so this is history repeating itself, right? Like we have this no kings protests and whatnot and stuff. Trump doesn't say he's a king; he's acting like a king. This is going back. We could have the new Trump Bible, right? Like we had the King James Bible. We could have the King Trump Bible, when he split around, had the argument with the Pope. He creates his whole brand of Christianity, right?
Well, he did sell a Bible already. He already has put a Bible up for sale. So,
right, yeah.
That.
And then you've got the vice president who is telling the Pope to stay in not to stay in his lane, but to be careful quoting scripture.
If anyone can quote scripture, it should be the Pope.
I'm going to give it to the guy with the degrees and the Bibles. Like, right? Like he's got, that's the thing. You think these guys are just like religious nut jobs at the top of the church? These dudes have advanced degrees. These are very educated, smart fuckers. Like I don't agree with what they agree with, certainly in certain ways, but
they're very educated about it.
Right now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. A lot of sense. Well, most of the popes in the past few years have become more progressive in what they're letting be out there, which is good, right? I mean, that's great. Slowly, but to give credit, they're trying to be more progressive and in tune with what's happening nowadays. And change takes time, especially from such an institution.
People are just so resistant to it. It's so funny to watch it. Like you watch it in small towns, we watch it all over North Carolina, but I just want to say, like, I've read the Bible several times. I've read the Bible stories. I get that it's a collection of books put together, and they're just like tales to teach lessons, basically. If you take that book as a work of fiction, it's a piece of shit. It's terrible. And it goes goddamn batshit loony at the end. Like, right? Like, so, but take it for what it is. Like, right? And for the people who wrote it at their time, you see a couple of themes throughout the book. they talk about civilizations that got a little too big for their britches and then they got torn down 3 or 4 times throughout that book. Certain civilizations who, ooh, now it's us. We're the righteous. We're the ones who, they got knocked down. And we're on the down slope of that at the moment. I feel, I hope to God we've had the crest. I feel like Reagan was the fucking peak, really. And we've just gone downhill from then. So, so that's where I'm at. Like, we are just like, it's just this is coming down and everyone, people create stories and everyone plays their fucking part. Right. And that's what's happening right now. Everyone's playing their fucking part. The rich, greedy assholes are being rich, greedy assholes. And there's less and less to grab onto because more and more people have less shit. So there's less to take. So now they're getting greedy with other people. And it's fucking musical chairs on a global goddamn scale.
Right. And it always seems to be the same. It kind of seems to be the same players that are dominating the playing field, right? Africa is always getting the shaft. So is South America. They may have their great civilizations and they've done really advanced things or whatever. But despite all that, it seems like the rest of the world fucking preys on them, Europe's been fucking dominant. Russia, not really, but they haven't ever been super like interposed. China is just that fucking giant that's supposedly has that long history. They've got beat by the Mongols, but other than the Mongols, they've been kind of just fucking China. Doing their own thing. They're their big fucking sleep. And then it's the US now, who's a young player, but it's always been those European countries, the US, China to its extent, and then everybody else is kind of just second stage.
All right, let's play it this way. Okay, so what does your historically, and we're just talking big picture, broad strokes for a little while. What do these countries in Europe do to these countries in Africa and Central America? They strip them of their resources.
Mining.
They'll mine them of their resources. They'll send a business over there as like a show of good faith and investment, but it's not. It's more exploitative than that. At some point, you get this country into debt. Now they can't pay it back. Your people are now working to pay off the debt. Now you're in what are they called? Sovereignty, like, or austerity measures when solvency or whatever. Then they impose austerity measures. So now you've become a bigger version of like a feudal state. You're now just working for the king, even though you're your own country. So how many countries in Africa and South America do you think are just working for the king?
Most.
And then you look at America versus China. We can bitch all we want about, say what we want about the working conditions in China. Working conditions here ain't much fucking better, and the same rules apply. Our wealthy elites rule this country. Their wealthy elites rule that country. And that's who makes out well.
Yep.
Everybody else can fuck off.
Pretty much. We might be doing a little bit better than their middle class, but it's the same thing. Yep. The upper echelon using the majority of the middle class.
Why do you think poverty exists? It's a dangling carrot for the middle class to say, hey, as long as you do enough, you won't be that.
Yep.
Our middle class is dwindling, though.
Since the 70s, I would say.
Yeah, it's harder and harder to be middle class.
Well, we've outpaced our growth. We built all the shit we need. So now what do? Now there's nothing left to build. We're gobbling up our resources. Everybody's got fucking 2 cars, 3 fucking TVs. They throw them away every couple of years. Like, there's just not enough shit that people need anymore.
And now half the jobs are going to be taken by artificial intelligence.
I feel like that's going to be a boom and that's going to burst a bit. I don't know that we want this as much as we say we do right now.
The AI?
Artificial intelligence?
Yeah.
We don't. No way.
We don't need it. Throw it away. Get fucking rid of it. Put it in the shelf and hang on to it for a few years,
It almost, I'll give you, it almost does feel like that. We're not mature enough for this shit yet. It kind of does feel like that. I'll give you that.
Well, it's just all of our jobs are just going to go away. Everything
I can build a house.
Okay, not all of our jobs. Many of our jobs.
I can build a house.
I feel like it seriously is the problem of, and I see people all the time. Geez, I was listening to the friggin' Joe Rogan podcast the other day, and he was interviewing the lady who did the plastic detox documentary on Netflix about how all the microplastics and stuff that were supposedly it's a really good documentary. But anyway, listen to that podcast. Like if you were doing, you could use it as a game to take shots every time they asked a question. And Joe was like, well, we'll ask the AI. How about this? And then they talk about something else. Well, what does the AI think about it? Which is fine, right? Like we Google things all the time and we do this, but the Google, you had to find information and make an opinion about it. I feel like the AI, people ask it a question and say, well, this is the right thing, which
I will never be against having another tool in my toolbox.
no,
I will
you
never
should.
give, and I will never give my hammer credit for building the fucking house.
Right? Amen.
Like,
Yeah.
AI, when you're using AI as your research, you can't take it as the gospel. You take
and everyone is
Josh
right out of the
said,
gate because
use
that's
it
what
as a
people
reason.
want. They just want the easy answer. Does anybody fucking go to page 2 of Google ever?
No.
No.
Rarely.
Used to deliberately like try to scroll like several pages
did
down. I don't do it anymore.
Not
just out of
anymore.
laziness.
I'm smelling my gumbo. I got to stir.
Sometimes I smell my gumbo and I need to shower.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to smell either one of your gumbos. Although he's a good cook, he'd probably do all right.
And honestly, I love gumbo. It's a fantastic food. It's delicious.
Oh my goodness, dude! When I was down in Ruston, I would go like every Saturday. We worked like half a day on Saturday, and I would go to this truck stop across the highway that just had the best home cooking. Oh, gumbo and jambalaya. I don't eat those crawfish. I can't do the crawfish. I don't like those.
No,
Mud bugs.
Mud bugs. Yeah.
Mud bugs. Nah, I don't like those fucking people eat them by the pound, 10 pound, 20 pound them down
You
there.
know how they eat them too.
They suck
Right? Suck them and shuck them.
Suck them and shuck them, man.
I've done it a few
oysters.
times. It's not.
I don't do.
Yeah. It's
But
not.
I love
It's okay.
Creole. I love Cajun. I love the spices. I love the seasoning on it. You making gumbo for one?
Well, yeah, but I'll eat it for 5 days.
Yeah, it'll
You
last.
making a big
It'll
old
sit.
pot?
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, with your dietary issues, can it be very spicy at all?
It's not a good idea for me to be making.
It's a mild
So
gumbo.
wait a minute. You've got 5 days worth of gumbo that's about to set your system on fucking fire.
So the spice doesn't really hurt me. The spice would be more painful for people with IBD. I have the IBSD. I have the IBSC. Do you need help with those?
I mean, I think
2 letters comes
yeah.
before
I have
the
the
other.
I mean, I knew the first 3 letters, but so okay. So the spice won't bother you as much.
Not as much. Whereas if I had the other form, I can imagine that would be pretty nasty. But sometimes, since I have the constipation form, sometimes I need that to kind of get everything flowing.
Spice is good at that point,
Sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes.
It still
spice is
irritates
good.
me. But
All right. No, I know you had some issues. Hey, I'm over 50, so my dietary issues change daily. Sometimes I'm like crossing fucking foods off my list, man.
yeah.
I had an egg salad sandwich too late one night. I had a goddamn fever dream. Like I was like,
What do you
okay,
think of the egg
crossing
salad
mayonnaise
unit?
off my list. I was like, no more fried chicken. Like it's like once a year. Like, yeah, I was like, woo. And then like everything gives you heartburn over 50. Like, so
Yeah. Heartburn is a weird thing to suffer from all of a sudden when you've never had it before in your life and all of a sudden you start getting it. It's like, this is what, no, man, this sucks for people. Jeez. Yeah.
it feels like to me just paying for stripping the lining off my esophagus for so many years with alcohol.
Others that, yeah. There's always pay to play. Always pay to play.
No regrets. I'm just saying, I would change nothing.
I would change.
Yeah.
See,
Maybe.
that's where you're at. Like, regret is a wasted emotion. Like, right? I love Howard Stern, right? And he talks about, oh my God, he talked about it for, oh, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done, oh my God. He's just like, why? It's part of the charm of the man. You got to give it to him. He's been doing it for so long. He's the fucking only GOAT when it comes to radio. There's only one name when it comes to who's the greatest in radio. But like, regret in and of itself is a wasted emotion because you're using your energy to bitch about what you didn't do in the past. And then when you're vocalizing it, it's like a secondary flame of wasting your goddamn energy. So don't have regret. Just do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah. Do it now or, yeah.
Yeah. And
It's funny. Go ahead. I was
No,
just
no,
saying,
that's
me
fine.
and my dad, I was just talking with my dad tonight. I try to stay in contact with my parents and call them, a couple times, usually one, dad on Monday, mom on Tuesday, dad on Wednesday, back and forth, right? But I was just talking with dad tonight, and we happened to be talking about health issues and whatnot and stuff, because I was in the grocery store and I was looking at healthy ketchup versus just the regular ketchup and how much it costs and whatnot. And dad goes, I don't really care. I just get the cheap stuff, whatever's cheaper by unit. And I laughed. I said, yeah, it's all good. And we came back to it and we were talking about health and stuff. My dad's like pretty healthy, 74, 75 years old. My mom's about the same age, and all of our family has lived pretty healthy. And we're kind of talking about sort of regrets and what we've done different. And dad goes, I wouldn't do anything different. He goes, I'm healthy. I'm happy right now. I'm in good health. He's saying this as he cracks a beer. And he's like, yeah, I think I'd do it. And I said, yeah, you're doing pretty good. That's what I've been doing, following in your footsteps. And he goes, that's what I'd advise you to do. So he goes, go get a 6-pack. He goes, after work, that's what I did every day. Go to the 6-pack and figure it out. So I was like, you know what?
See,
So I'm
see,
going to
What
do
y'all.
was
it.
it in Grumpy? It was either Grumpy Old Men. I think it was Grumpier Old Men, where Burgess Meredith's character is about to die and they're out at the lake. What does he say? For breakfast? What does he say? Can you remember it?
Oh, I have bacon and beer or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know it. I don't know it verbatim, but I know the
And
spirit of
I
what you're
drink
talking
my
about.
dinner.
I drink my dinner, and I'm 105 years old. Like,
Yeah.
oh, those movies are so beautiful.
But the best part of that one was at the end, he said, sometimes I think God forgot me. In other words, is he going to let me live forever?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, everybody's gone. He's by himself. Wow. How interesting. Life is a gift, but
Amen.
life is a gift. But at some point,
Oh no, see, I agree. It is, and I see philosophically, if you want to get that way, it's like I feel like death is the gift. Like I don't get like the whole vampire live forever thing. I'm like, oh my god, that sounds like torture. Like that is just
Oh, yeah.
you can debate what your ideal number would be as we start approaching things like longevity and 150 years and possibly 200 years lifespan. And hell, I mean, if you get to like 400-year lifespan, that changes so many agreements of marriage and contracts and like what that would change about everything, like, right? But I
with
still
career
feel like
paths and
hell, you could have 5 careers, man. You could get 20 doctorates. You could do whatever you like. You could do so many things over and over. Or you could just adventure. You could just travel forever. You could do like whatever you want. And still, personally, I feel like at some point this shit's got to go. It's got to end.
there's a
You
next
know,
stage. There's a next
I don't
phase,
even
or
know if
just
I
it's
care,
right.
about any next stage. I'm at this point, as what I would describe as kind of post-atheist, even a little post-nihilist, post-absurdist. You kind of come back to a little bit of a hopeful peace and be like, yeah, it's all good, whatever. It's a
Yeah, that's
serious.
fair.
It's the philosophy of the dude, man. It
Yeah,
is
that's right.
literally fucking Lebowskiism. At a certain point, you're like, yeah, it's all good, it's fine, you know. But yeah, at some point, I just want to drift off into whatever the fuck happens next.
Sure. Yeah. Whether it's nothing or something or whatever. Yeah. Because freaking
Hey, for
who
all I
friggin'
know,
knows? But
the DMT elves grab me by the hand, walk me into the like I don't even whatever.
What was
you're
that
so
acronym you used?
yeah,
DMT.
Which is
So that's a whole discussion.
dimethyltryptamine.
So there's a drug called DMT. I don't know. Do they call it anything else? Chronic? I think it's just DMT.
Well, I mean, like that ayahuasca. People sometimes can say ayahuasca, although it's not. It's more complicated than that. That might be the only other quote unquote name it's known by.
So I would say
There
that
might be some other
DMT,
stuff
and
like that.
limited
Isn't
knowledge
that?
of
Yeah.
here, I would say that DMT is a synthesized version of what ayahuasca is more naturally. Why ayahuasca is like a root and a leaf and a certain medicine. And honestly, what ayahuasca is, it's a 2-part solution, right? The first thing you
Right.
have to
Which
drink,
you need the two of
which
them to create the DMT, and one of them overrides the enzyme in your stomach that stops it from uh breaking down the.
yes, one
Let me
is the
see.
inhibitor. It allows the DMT to pass through your system. Otherwise, you could take all of this that you want to have no effect on you if you took it this way.
interesting.
But
Yes.
when you crystallize it and you synthesize it, then you smoke it through a pipe and you take a couple of big old poofs of it, a big couple hits, and you do what's called blasting off. And the sensation has been described as going through a vortex, and then you wind up in a hyper realistic other reality.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yes. And then there have been experiences where it's very fractal. There have been multiple people talk about these elves that come up and talk to you, and they do these things, and most things are just kind of created out of energy and blah blah blah. They have these experiences, and in reality, these experiences tend to last 15 to 20 minutes. For the user, the person on it, you could be on a 2-week trip, right? There's no addictive personality. You can come down, you could wait 5 minutes, you could blast off again, and go right back in with really no lag,
Almost like time travel.
a bit from what I've been told.
Trippy.
So yeah, that's the 101 DMT. Welcome to my TED Talk. So I don't know. I mean, I've been balls deep in a fucking intensive training course for about 5 days. So the only thing I've seen is that my Penguins have sucked balls and lost the first 2 games of the playoffs to the fucking Flyers of all goddamn teams.
At home.
Nick and I will take it. We trade with him.
And where are y'all watching the playoffs from?
That's what I'm saying. We trade with it.
Yeah,
Same spot. Our team's watching
Exactly.
it from the same spot I'm watching it from.
I have good seats, Chronic.
Yeah,
I don't know about you. I have good seats.
Save the
seat.
Penguin seats. They could be there in 2 games if things go horribly wrong. But hopefully they can do something and score some fucking goals, man. They have just been no power plays, no nothing. So
how are the Hurricanes doing?
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't.
Hurricanes are winning.
They were good. They were looking good coming in, man. The Hurricanes were looking tough. I'll give them that. So
while we're talking about Pittsburgh, my niece went to made her national camp, as they say, apparently, which means she went and did a playoff, scouting event, and a coach ended up approaching her and wanting her to be on the team from Pittsburgh. So she's in a national camp now. She's going to get scouted for like the Olympics and all types of future national teams. They'll come give her feedback and say, this is where we want to see you grow. This is what we want to see you work on. She'll play the whole year with those goals in mind. The coaching staff will work on those goals, help her out. It's all private. That's all they're doing is hockey in school, hockey first, school second, probably. And it's in Pittsburgh. They're playing at the same practice facility that the Pittsburgh Penguins play on. So she's going to be living in Pittsburgh doing that hockey stuff this year upcoming.
What's the
pretty
acronym?
on. And how old is she?
She'll be 14 this year, born in 2012.
So she's obviously on a path to become a professional female hockey player.
Which is, you texted us this a few days ago. What is the acronym for the league?
PWHL.
Professional. What did you call it, Josh?
I'd have to check. I don't know. I think I came up with something very witty on the fly.
It was very witty.
Yeah, I'd have to check the notes on that one.
But
might have been actually a bit contradictory now that I think of it.
Might have been.
But it was funny. It was still funny. I got to laugh.
Pussy whipped
Between
homo
my
losers.
guess and your guess, one of us had to be right.
It was pussy whipped homo losers.
Yes, that was it.
Or professional women's hockey league. One of the two has to be right.
I mean, one of the two. It's got to be one or the other. Sure.
One of them. It's one of them.
Well,
there's also.
Oh, go ahead.
What's that?
No,
I was going to say, there's also, I think, the WNHL. I feel like there's a bit of a struggle between, which it seems like they haven't, it's almost like, and I could be wrong about this, but a few years ago, I know there was the difference, but it almost feels like when the AHL and the NHL, or AFL and the NFL, before they joined,
before the merger.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what's happening, maybe.
So there's 2 women's hockey leagues competing for both of their fans.
Yeah, which can't work. It's not.
Well, I mean, there's always been too much women's professional hockey. There's always been.
Obviously, they've been drowned out. There's so much women's professional hockey that I see on the Ocho.
You turn on TV, and that's all there is these days.
That's all. Yeah, it's like that and NASCAR around here.
Yeah. All right, I
So
was trying to.
only I could tell this part of the story. So I'm in this 10-day intensive course, right? And it is like I can't imagine. I got like the top instructor. Like it's kismet that this dude like is in my class. You guys know I was born and raised Western Pennsylvania. Huge Steeler fan. Huge Penguins fan. The Pirates, yeah, whatever. Baseball's baseball. But one of the 22 people in my class played linebacker for the Steelers from 2000 2015. And he
Wow.
played.
No shit.
And he played.
That's fucking sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. So
No
I'm like,
shit.
you're yeah, yeah, okay. I got his first name, and yeah, he was like the only person in the class who declined the media release. He doesn't want to be in the photos or anything. And I was like, yeah, I know who you are. Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm like, how does that happen? Like, dude, and this class, it's amazing. So what it is I'm taking the home inspection course, right? It's to become a home inspector. I've been in construction for 30 years. I know a lot of certain things. And when I signed up for this, I texted, it was kind of last minute. I was coming in from the road, doing different things. I was trying to decide what I wanted to do. And then like the only one that was going to be live in Charlotte, because they got like Wilmington and Fayetteville, the one that was right here in my town was like this 10 days, or else you wait till like August. So I got like all my shit together and to do this. And I texted my like good buddy who's a roofer, and I'm like, hey buddy, it's like, I'm going to do this course. And he like texts me right back. Like, oh, cool. I'll do it with you. I was like, what the fuck? He just
Really?
like, it's like, yeah, it's a couple grand to do this, right? There's a few $1,000s we're talking about here. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it with you. I've been wanting to do that. So we both get signed up. He's been a roofer in this town forever. I've done my thing forever. And inside of an hour, like once we like, everybody just kind of introduces themselves and this and that. And the instructor finds out that Johnny and I know each other. We're planning on like helping each other out in business and this and that. He's like, you two are going to do so good at this. And he's not like, in reality, the two of us combined have more practical real world experience than the rest of that class, other than the instructor, like by a long shot. And so like anytime we're pairing off, people are like coming up to us, and now don't get me wrong, we're intensely listening to people who like really know electrical and HVAC systems and things like that, because that's just not the thing I know the best. But it's intense, and it's awesome. And you would crush this. But
That's
I
good to
will
know.
say, like, day one, I was very taken back. I was very surprised, because I thought, you're just there to practice and learn the information to pass the test. And it wasn't that. Like right out of the gate, it was very much like the kind of language I hear when I do like landmark stuff and like those kinds of distinctions. So I like immediately like perked up like a prairie dog, like, oh, I know this language, man. I'm like hearing this on a whole other level. And yeah, it's me and my buddy are totally the teacher's pets on this one. Like,
Good.
he's about time. All right, I'm gonna ask a question. You two shut up. Like,
keep your hands down. Don't say anything. Don't
and then everyone's like looking.
Away.
It's like looking at us and stuff. That's great. It's and it's really cool. So I got. And here's a little tidbit for you, Krynock. You'll love this. The North Carolina test is the hardest in the country.
Really?
Any idea why?
Natural disasters?
I have no guess.
We get all the weather. Floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, droughts, like we get it all.
Gotcha.
So the North Carolina test, the North Carolina state test, is actually harder than the national test, which I will also be taking, probably first. And
really?
Then I'll
do the national.
Be licensed in 40 states.
Why not all 50? Just they don't.
Some of them don't administer. They don't join that group or whatever that recognizes.
Gotcha. You'd have to get their own state.
You really think California building codes are going to adhere to what everybody else does?
Oh yes, okay. California, of course, is one.
You can't build anything in California. Like it's damn near impossible.
Yeah.
But there's really nowhere to build out there anyway. So like they've got like their resources are so strained. I love California for a lot of reasons, but planning where they were going to put their fucking water is not one of them.
Not a sustainable situation.
Yeah, let's pump it all to the other side of the fucking state. That makes sense.
Water is such, I mean, I don't know how you plan or solve for that, because you only get so much that falls out of the sky, and everybody needs it. Who gets it?
You don't
You
plan or
know?
solve for it. It's rich assholes in the 20s that stake their claim, and then they butt water from the other rich assholes who had the water. Man, it's there's really nothing. There's nothing like more sinister and more like it's very obvious. They're not being like dastardly anymore. You know, I read last week like a town in South Texas ran out of water. They're done. They've been
No water.
tapped. Yep.
Buy bottled water, and that's it. You know. Yep. There's a book you let me borrow years ago. Who Owns the Future by Jaron Lanier or
Jaron Lanier, I believe is his name. Yeah.
Jaron Lanier.
Real big fucking thinker, dude.
Huge thinker, and that was one of all the things that stood out in that book. The one thing that I still remember to this day was there will be a time, he predicted there will be a time in our future when heart surgery and, whatever, some medical treatment will be cheaper and more available to the general populace than water. You will be able to get medical treatment for anything, but buying water will be a scarcity for only the rich, that because of the way that is available and the way that is monopolized and the resources are parsed out. Just the way the technology is going and stuff. Like technology becomes cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. I don't know. He had a better argument for it and stuff that made a lot of sense, but for whatever reason, that sticks out to me, and it makes sense. We're buying bottled water nowadays. You can't drink out of any stream out there,
Better have a life straw with you.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Because it's going to have, and not just for E. coli or, but like for heavy metals and mercury and chemicals and stuff. Plastics.
You know where most of these microplastics wind up?
Our balls?
In our balls.
Yeah.
Really?
See? Bingo. Yeah. I soak them up like little sponges.
I mean, what we don't dump in the ocean, the micro ones, but it changes the entire ecosystem of the ocean too, because now the kelp or the smallest organisms are eating this shit and feeding it to the blah, blah, blah. And I mean, I know how the food chain works because I passed fucking third grade. So,
right?
I didn't have to copy off of my fucking neighbor.
Yeah. Believe it or not, people were copying off of me.
So just so you know, all the kids that copied off of everyone's papers from third grade up, they're now running everything.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I may have told you guys this one, but my dad, when he was in school, told me a story of a buddy of his. I think they were in the same class, and the guy just cheated all the time, cheated. And the guy he was cheating from, they were taking a test. The guy he was cheating from wrote the answer, "I don't know," as one of the answers. The other guy wrote, "I don't know either."
I don't know either.
It's one of my favorite anecdotes of all time. It's one of those stories you hear that you never know. It's probably not true, but it makes for a great anecdote. It was like, the 4 college kids, they go away for the weekend and they wind up coming back. They have a test on Monday morning, but they party their asses off all weekend and they come in late and they miss the test. And so they all like, all right, we'll just tell the instructor that we had a flat tire. Like, all right, cool. We'll just tell him we had a flat tire. So he'll let us make up the test, right? So he's like, so the instructor agrees, and he sets them all down, each in different rooms, and he gives them a 1-question test. Which tire went flat?
Oh, nice.
Better get your fucking story straight if you're gonna play that game.
Nice.
And like we said a couple episodes ago, that's why I don't lie, because I'm not a good liar. I can barely keep the truth straight, and I'm trying to.
And Chronic, you know me, I'm going to ask you which tire went flat.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
All right, which tire went flat? How many pounds of pressure did you have to put in? Like, what'd you have to do?
So, Chronic, now that you're
How many
sitting
lugs were on
upright,
the wheel?
Sorry. Now that you're sitting upright, tell us about your shirt. I showed you mine.
You showed me mine. I gotta show you.
That's right.
You showed me yours. I gotta show you mine.
You guys need some privacy?
No, I'm public, man. This is it's a Warrior Dash. The Warrior Dash event. I think it says on the back somewhere, maybe.
So that was the shirt for the event, or was that the shirt for your team?
No, this was the event. The shirt, they give the shirt out for all the participants. They actually give out these hats too. These little fuzzy hats with horns. They give them out, and I don't have mine with me, but a lot of my family still has them. We did this race series for like 3 or 4 years. Our neighbors did it and convinced my dad to do it. And then like I would travel up from North Carolina up through Ohio to do it with them in the Hocking Hills area. So, and they'd give out these shirts and little hats and stuff. It was a fun little race. It was a good time. An amazing story. They had, I think it's funny. So
We'll laugh regardless just to make you feel good.
thank you. So like the first year, the first year that I went and did it, I think the girl I was dating at the time, Kayla, which, she came up with me, and my sister came down with one of her friends, and we all decided to do the Warrior Dash together. And so we were running through it. So we're getting to the end, and it's not really a super competition, but to start with, before we even started, my sister had made herself a shirt that said Juju got beat by his little sister. And on the back, it said, beat the fuzzy man peach. Right. So she's talking shit before we even start. And I'm like, I'm riding mountain bikes this time. I'm pretty athletic or whatever. And she's got a couple blown out knees from volleyball and stuff. So like, I'm thinking probably I can beat you, especially running through the hills with your bad knees. But she made this shirt and she was all like, talking shit and stuff. I'm like, whatever. So we do the race, all four of us, her and her, Kate and her friend, and Kayla and me doing the race, just doing the obstacles, hanging out and stuff and having a good old time next to each other. And the last obstacle is this big, like maybe 50-yard, maybe a little bit less, but mud pit. They dig out and they fill with water and they put barbed wire over top of it. And you got to kind of army crawl and like crawl your way through it, right, to get to the end. And then the end is like another maybe the same distance to the finish line. You got to sprint 50 yards, whatever, right? So in my head, like we've all like all I have to do to beat my sister to make her shirt bullshit is get out of the water about the same time as her. And even if she's ahead of me a little bit, I can just because she's also maybe a foot shorter than me. So my legs are longer. I can just run ahead of her and beat her. Right. So we're going through the mud hole and we're talking shit still, whatever. And we're right next to each other talking. And all of a sudden behind me, I hear, ow, 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 damn it, ow. And I turn around and look, and Kayla has her bun stuck in the barbed wire.
Ooh.
So I look over at my sister, and she looks at Kayla, and she looks at me, and she goes, ha, 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 and takes off. And so I don't even do anything except for stand up in the middle of all the barbed wire, just stand up and turn around and walk back over to Kayla and start picking apart her hair out of the barbed wire. And my sister makes it out of the mud pit and leisurely walks across the finish line well ahead of me, making her shirt true. And I lost to her. So
Nice.
it was,
Nice.
and she lords it over me to this day. It's fantastic.
I love your sister. Oh my God.
Well, that's a great visual. I immediately got because she made that instant realization. Oh, you're fucked now, buddy, right?
But
yeah,
I mean,
she's like, because she knew it was double-edged. She knew either A, I'm going to beat you because you go back to Kayla, or you leave Kayla behind
and you're in the doghouse.
You're so much worse off.
Yeah, she knew both.
But you got to put it on yourself. You the whole way. Oh, I'm a cocky motherfucker right up here till the end. All I got to do is pop out the other side, and I got this. All you had to do was go to the finish line. Then you could have came back for Kayla. You would have been there.
It's the tortoise and the hare. It's almost a tortoise and the hare a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, you would have already been at the finish line. Then you would have came back for Kayla and noticed her hair was in a bunch.
I'm not sure Kayla would have seen it that way.
No.
I'm saying if he wasn't stalling, he would have been so far ahead. Because he was lollygagging and he was showing off and he was dragging ass. If he would have ran his race, he would have been coming back already with a Gatorade when he realized that Kate before she got stuck in the net.
It wouldn't have been a Gatorade, it'd been a beer. But
anyway,
but exactly.
Whoever sponsors your Warrior Dash.
Yeah. So another real quick. So that after that Warrior Dash, the next one Kayla didn't come to, but we were still together at that time. She didn't come to that one. But so me and my sister were still running it. And with my dad, and so we're doing the race, and it's all hilly, right? So me and my sister are jogging next to each other, we're talking, this dude comes running past us saying, "Get out of the way, out of the way, out of the way," and comes running past everybody, taking these big long strides down this hill, downhill, right? And I looked at my son, was like, "Geez, that guy's trying to fucking win." And we keep going and doing our thing and talking and stuff, get down to the bottom of the hill and keep going up, catch up to Dad. And we're like, "How'd you get in front of us?" He goes, "I couldn't stop myself coming down that hill." So he was, and he's, fucking probably in a 65, 66 at the time doing this. He was like, "Yeah, I'm away, people. I can't stop." Just charging down.
That's the
Wait. That was your dad the whole time, and you
That's
didn't know
my
it?
dad the whole time. He just couldn't stop.
When I ran cross country, I would do that big gazelle strides downhill and save energy and just like kind of leap off and just do exactly that. I love that kind of technique. It worked for me really well.
Brilliant.
And you didn't feel like you expelled any energy at all. You just float to the bottom of the hill like 1.5 times faster than you normally would, and you zoom, hit the ground running. So, yeah, that's cool. Well, that's nice.
Anyway.
You guys do a lot of that shit as a family together, and you're all they're athletic enough, and everyone's doing it. Hell yeah, get it.
Play outdoors, people.
Absolutely, play outdoors for sure.
Hey, I got one question, and this would maybe be my little fucking segment. I just thought of this last night as a stoner thought. So sports broadcasting started on the radio, right? Would we say like you were listening to baseball games being called on the radio?
Sure.
So if, hypothetically, you skipped radio and went straight to TV, would you still have commentators for the games? Because you don't need someone describing the game to you anymore.
That is definitely a stoner thought right there.
Right? Is commentary only a thing because it started with radio and describing the game?
So you're saying if we took the sports we were already playing outside just for each other's whatever, we had the NFL, but we were just watching it outside, and then TV was invented
before radio. Or
radio,
no
radio. Just saying, TV was invented. We were just watching it. It was a spectator sport, and all of a sudden, someone invents TV, so now we can watch it indoors.
Yeah. Just simply be thinking because, like, in the radio, it has to be described to you.
Certainly, I get that. I just wonder
when you're watching a game, like if you're watching a live game in the stadium, right? They may have like some announcer, like
they do,
but it's not commentary. It's not play-by-play.
It's just the facts. It's just ball on the 34-yard line, first down, run by this person for this. It's very just dragnet.
Which we even need that, in my opinion. Even that,
and
it helps. That's what I'm saying. So to answer your question, I think we may not need it, but we may want some version of it.
But to give my answer, it's been a while, but there was some sort of sporting event on television that they did experiment with no commentators, or it's like an alternate broadcast with no commentators, and I did not dig it.
No. And I don't think I would either. I even play, sometimes even like playing video games, like it sounds odd with the comment, because you can turn it on or off, and sometimes it sounds...
I just don't even know if we can truly answer this question, though, because we're so used to the whole storytelling aspect of everything we do. We want somebody to tell the story,
So, and this is what I was watching the the NHL playoffs, and this is what made me think of it, because if you're at an NHL game, it's not, they don't say, except for like football's different, because they'll say ball on the 54 or 50-yard line, third down, But in hockey, until the play stops, they don't say anything. There's nothing said in the stadium. So you could go 6 minutes, 20 minutes. You go 20 minutes.
You can go 20 minutes theoretically. You can go one puck drop per period theoretically.
And nothing will be said in the stadium. It's just the entire stadium watching the game without commentary. And that's what made me think,
okay,
well, wait a second. If we were all just watching a football game or all watching a baseball game that was on TV, and we'd never, ever had someone explaining it to us, would we just watch the game on TV and be like, oh shit, yeah, a guy hit the ball and got a third base hit? I don't know. I just, like I said, stoner thought. I
totally get it about hockey, because you're absolutely right. Like, I've seen so much live hockey to where there is no sound other than the skates on the ice and the puck from stick to stick. and then all you get from the crowd is you get that level, and then when they score, they go fucking crazy. So it's a totally if you're gonna watch one of the four major sports, baseball, basketball, hockey, or football, with the sound off, just watching the sport, which one would it be? It'd be hockey.
Yeah.
It'd be hockey.
Except my eyes have trouble sometimes following the puck, so sometimes I need the commentator.
Well, we can't, fault you for your own personal failings, man. Sorry.
I'm
kidding.
You see these glasses, don't you? Yeah.
I advise people to try not to watch the puck. Watch the flow of the play. Nobody's chasing the puck. If you're chasing, you're out of the fucking play. Like, so just look. They move like a fucking fish, like a school of fish to that puck, man. Everybody does their thing. So I kind of watch the puck peripherally when I watch the game. Like, I'm watching the people, the puck. I know where the puck is because I can just see how the people move.
It just, when they pass it or shoot, it's so fast. I'm like, where the hell did it go?
They are so unbelievably talented.
Yeah.
They throw a saucer pass over one dude's stick and it lands on the tape 30 fucking feet away. Like, they're so impressively skilled. I mean, it's the best sport on television every fucking year, people. I don't know what you're waiting for.
If you haven't watched it, check out the playoffs right now. They're on the chase for Lord Stanley's Cup.
We are not getting paid for this, but NHL playoffs, like, that is where it's at.
I'm not going to harsh your mellow by mentioning the weather.
The weather?
It is warm outside.
I harshed your mellow via text when you were texting about how awesome NHL hockey playoffs were. I was like, nothing screams NHL like 86 degrees.
Like global warming. I'm like, hey, so if you really want to break it down, there's a lot of air conditioning machines running a little extra hard for our needs as hockey fans, and I'm good with that.
I will forego AC around me, and I will forego using AI and the energy that they use just for the artificial or just for the hockey.
But as I learn more of HVAC systems, once they get that building conditioned, it's energy efficient. Just don't, keep it kind of close, keep the air circulating, everything will be fine. You keep that level down at the ice, and then, everything will be fine. So I could argue that hockey might be the most energy efficient sport of the major four too. I'd probably be making that up, but I could argue it.
You could. I can't imagine how it is.
My sport, at least for a while, was horse racing. And, I'm big into conservation. They use a lot of water in that sport. Almost after every race, they water down the track. I'm like, ugh, that hurts me.
Well,
I mean, everything uses water. Water's whatever we do, whatever sport, we were all guilty of using it.
I mean, as a conservationist, what do you think? How many acres per horse does that sport take? Like, how many acres does each one of those horses get? 1.5 to 2?
No. While they're racing, they're cooped up in a stall like 20 hours a day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So each racetrack has these big barns, multiple big barns. And if Chronic's the trainer of 20 horses, all 20 of his horses will have one stall in one barn, and they get out maybe 4 hours a day, maybe. Now, when they retire, then they get turned out.
So you got to retire. That's when you get jerked off for $1 million a shot.
If you were successful.
If you win some races, then you get the life of a Playboy stallion.
Yeah, right. Although, if you're getting to, mount the filly, then that's great. But if you're just getting jerked off,
well, I'd say it's all relative, because up until that point, what were you doing?
True. Yeah, I guess I'd rather be jerked off by another species of animal than you sure as hell can't jerk yourself off with hooves.
Not with those, for sure. Certainly not.
No, there's no thumbs. It's all stony and it's like a big fingernail. It wouldn't be comfortable.
You're gonna get a blister.
The artificial insemination is illegal in thoroughbred horse racing, so it has to be all natural.
Is it really? Has to
even
be
if you do it yourself?
Clarify what you mean there. I'm not sure what you mean.
I mean, if you impregnate the horse yourself.
That's what I thought. I was like, I'm not sure if that's what he means or not.
This is the part at the end where I might just edit out.
No.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure in West Virginia, as long as it's a family horse, you're okay.
Yeah. And Washington State, I think, too. West Virginia and Washington State, I think.
Right.
West Virginia.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if the horse is your cousin, it's okay.